In the years that we've been recording and putting out shows here on the Glass Cannon Network, sometimes people ask, like, what do you guys talk about in the sound check? Or what do you talk about in the pre-record? And oftentimes it's traumatic and I don't like to discuss it. But today, I feel like we learned a lot of interesting things about each other. Number one is that Skidmar, has flown on the Concorde.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
One time.
I'm so jealous.
It was
so
great,
cool.
except for one thing, which I don't even know if I want to get into.
Maybe not. Yeah.
That was the end of the story I came into.
It was mostly great. It was 80% amazing.
You can't tease and then not say.
I think he can.
Okay.
Just use the exact same words you used.
2 people on the plane. I'm having a wonderful time traveling at hypersonic speeds, looking at the curvature of the Earth at this amazing altitude, looking forward to arriving in New York in time that would have been considered science fiction mere decades earlier. And there's a couple next to me that are engaged in activity that is illegal on Earth. I don't know, maybe like once you hit a certain level of the atmosphere, it's just like getting out into the ocean.
They were doing insider trading?
In a sense.
Okay.
Insider trading with their fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Fiasco, people, you got to be prepped for something in this vein. But they were fooling around in a horrible way. And it was, that part sucked. Everything else was great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The detail I really loved is you said you looked outside, the sky is dark because
The sky's black. Looking
Because you're in
outside the
space.
window. Because you're practically in space. There's
Jesus.
so little atmosphere up at that level that it's black. Midday. Black as night. It was amazing.
They're like smaller porthole windows on there, right? For atmospheric containment's sake.
Yeah, little tiny windows. Little tiny. Yeah.
Can you imagine if, maybe they were test subjects. Maybe they were like the first 2 humans that should have sex in space.
Maybe they thought it was a colonial mission and they were trying to procreate.
Yeah. Who knows?
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, sure.
Share with their fingers.
Right.
hard as it, I'm going to speak real words now. Hard as it is to believe, that was only one mere little bit of exciting, events that happened. One event that happened in that time. We also learned that if you want to have a discussion about verb tenses and the declension of English verbs, this is the group to have it with.
That's right.
Which warmed my heart in a very special way.
There's nothing funnier to me than running through verb tenses.
What was it? Sprung? Like, maybe I missed it. Maybe.
Oh, it was the spring. What were you saying? It was the spring something?
I said I was gonna sprung upon you something.
Yeah, you're gonna sprung something on somebody, and you're like sprung, and it's just like no, it's spring, and it's like you can say you will have sprung,
Right.
future perfect tense.
I feel like I was back in third grade again.
Well, that leads me to the third amazing event that happened in the pre-show, which is, Ellie.
Oh no!
Does Donald Duck have a theme song?
I can't believe you haven't heard it. It is. I looked it up. It's like. And then. And then it's Donald. I can't believe I'm doing it again. But it's you have to imagine, Donald Duck.
Yeah, Ellie, you did a little Donald Duck earlier.
Yeah, exactly. There has to be it's Donald Duck. Yeah. It's okay. Well, look it up. It
Oh,
exists.
from some deep, dark corner of hell that Donald Duck sound emanated. That is not of this earth.
No.
It should be on the fucking Concorde going to the moon.
Where it belongs.
Yeah, I was saying, like, as far as I knew, Donald Duck never had his own music. Sound off in the chat. Let us know. Maybe we're wrong.
Maybe all of us have been missing something, but yeah, it was news to us.
Angel grew up watching Cantonese dubs of certain cartoons, and she watched a Cantonese dub of a very popular Japanese show called Doraemon.
Yes.
Oh, I love Doraemon.
I love Doraemon.
You know, Doraemon is like the longest running cartoon in Japanese history, right?
For those of you who don't know, it's about a robot cat with an infinite pouch of toys, which is like the most Japanese thing you can ever come up with.
Doraemon.
And in Cantonese, Doraemon was localized as Ding Dong. So when I found this out, I have a Doraemon sticker on the back of my CRV. So if you ever see one moving around, although in our household it's a Ding Dong sticker, so I call Angel Ding Dong around the house all the time.
Was the theme song dubbed in Cantonese also?
Yeah, we gotta have an Angel on one time to have her sing it.
Yes, and then she'll sing in
compare.
Cantonese. Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Yep. So yeah, sometimes localizations really change the character of the original source.
I think that theme song to that show kind of sounds like the way Ellie described the Donald Duck song, because it goes like, which kind of sounds like what Ellie was doing. It's a compliment.
But my song is actually English. I just don't remember the lyrics.
Oh, it was English.
Oh, that's why you don't remember the words.
I will look it
Oh
up
yeah, that's
now.
why.
It starts with predisposition. Who has the great predisposition?
Yeah. I remember that.
You know it?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Oh,
She's just
He was just trying to be there.
I was just trying to be there for
supportive.
Ellie. Yeah.
Thank you, Anna.
I wondered because it's such an alien concept to the rest of us.
Oh man, it's great. Donald Duck, man. Carl Anka, as I refer to him.
What? Wait, what?
What?
Carl Anka?
Carl
Yeah, that's
Anka?
his Swedish name. I think we've talked about
His name
this
is
before.
Carl.
We didn't have any Donalds.
Donald becomes Carl?
Wait, is this true? Is it true
It
that
is
you
true.
watch Donald Duck cartoons on Christmas Eve in Sweden as a tradition?
3
Oh,
p.m.
this is like the KFC tradition in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's just like weird American things. Other countries are like, let's do that on Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you know what we do on New Year's Eve? Everyone watches Ivanhoe. Ivanhoe.
Ivanhoe, I thought you would know.
Wow.
Ivanhoe.
Wow.
Oh, Grant.
Boo, Grant.
Boo that man. Boo that man.
Kick him.
I made an Ivanhoe joke on one of our shows like 5 months ago or something, and that's the only
how did
thing.
it do?
It killed
Okay, great.
because no one ever thinks about Ivanhoe.
No.
I certainly don't.
No.
Anthony Andrews, Sam Neill. He always picks the wrong. Wait, are we talking about the same movie now? Skid?
No.
Sam Neill is in Ivanhoe.
Which adaptation of Ivanhoe did you watch? Because there's
no.
a couple, right?
Yeah, I
Which
didn't know
is-
there was a newish adaptation of Ivanhoe.
I'm seeing a
Ivanhoe.
1952 and a 1982.
82 is definitely the one.
Really? You watched the newer
Wow.
Ivanhoe adaptation?
James
Yeah.
Mason is in it.
James Mason is in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Ivanhoe.
Oh, and
That was a good
the man who has the distinction of both being an Indiana Jones villain and a James Bond villain, Julian Glover, who was also on Game of Thrones.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
picks the the
And
wrong.
he's
Wait,
in
John Rhys
Last
Davies?
Crusade.
John Rhys Davies is in this?
Oh, he's in it too?
Yeah, Ivanhoe with
Wow.
the 82 version is really cool. Sam Neill is the bad guy as well, and he picks the wrong girl. He picks the blonde. He picks Lady Rowena, and he should pick the brown-haired girl.
Do you know what the inciting event was that inspired Swedes across the country to watch the 1982 adaptation of Ivanhoe on New Year's?
No,
No, okay. I can't imagine why.
you knew.
I didn't.
That felt like a
He's
bait.
asking.
I was asking.
He was just curious.
Why
I
do
think- I mean,
Swedes?
So here's the thing.
Okay, well, can I tell you the top couple
Ellie, let me
suggestions from Google?
mansplain your cultural conventions
Yeah, yes,
to you.
please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
reading off of Google. That's simply all I'm doing. I have no knowledge myself. I'm ignorant. I'm nothing but a mouthpiece. When I type in "Why do Swedes" before I type in "Watch Ivanhoe" on New Year's Eve, the third result is like paying taxes. The fourth result is eat pea soup on Thursdays. And another one that's interesting is have lamps in their windows.
Wait, people don't have lamps in their windows?
I don't.
No.
Candles in the
I'm looking at my lamps at my window. Well, I think so. Here's the thing. My biggest culture shock going to America was always like how many TV channels you guys had. I grew up with 5 total. You know, socialism.
Oh, me too. I did also.
Yeah. Well,
But
and
I'm 50.
And which channel was Carl Anka on?
that was the Swedish television, the one the main, like the BBC of Sweden, so to speak, like the publicly government owned. And yeah, so at 3:00 we watch Carl Duck. Every Christmas Eve, and it's like this huge thing. But it's actually Mickey Mouse, Musse Pig, celebrating Christmas with his friends.
Can I read?
Mickey Mouse is a pig
I heard the same thing.
in Sweden?
Musse Pig, yeah,
We don't have mice in Sweden, Ed.
yeah. Well,
I'm guessing you
do
also
know
don't have very many
rescue-
Mickeys in Sweden either.
My favorite translation is, if you guys should look this up, every country in Europe has a different translation for, what's the little dudes, the 3 little nephews of Carl Duck, Donald
Huey,
Duck?
Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, Knatte, Fnatte, and Chatte.
Not fit. Sorry. Say it again.
Knatte, Fnatte, and Chatte. And then,
The first and the second are different names, right? When I heard
Yep.
it the second time. Okay, the first time I heard it, I thought it was the first name twice, and then
Yep.
I heard it again, and I can tell the difference. I'm learning.
and then Rescue Rangers are Piff and Puff.
I like Piff and Puff.
Piff and Puff.
It
Yep.
really,
Is that Chip and Dale?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Wow.
Piff and Puff.
you know, when we
Yep.
were sitting down during tech, I was like, I wonder how we're going to open the show. This bit about the conquered and the verb declensions, I don't think it's going to last. And then in walked Donald Duck, and here we are.
You're at a loss. Like, I had no idea. And then it's like, yeah. This could easily go on for another 6 hours.
It is. So I'll cut it off. I'm sure the Swedes will make a return given our setting. But hello and welcome back to New Game Who Dis, the show where we plunge headlong into a new role-playing game and swim desperately towards the surface, following the bubbles as we go. How's everyone doing tonight after that Carl Duck diatribe? Yeah.
Well, speaking of Carl Duck or
was a
Donald
diatribe.
Duck or Dudley, Dudley, the worst character I think I've ever made, like the most evil character. Oh wait, you're not ready to go into Fiasco yet. Sorry, I thought we were recapping of what happened last week.
No, please talk about how he's your least favorite character you remember. I didn't think he was the worst character by any stretch of the imagination, but it seems like you don't like him very much.
No, I like him. It's just like he's not likable. Like you can have, I tend to like unlikable people all the time. That's the problem I have. But I think, I was
He's
excited.
unlikable like Sam Neill and Ivanhoe. You want him to lose.
No, yeah, I wish. But I think we were talking a little bit last week when we wrapped up. We were talking about like how cool would it have been if that chainsaw would have cut his neck off, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know what do I do? Like, because you kind of want to see the world burn, but you also are like, but I also want to play my character. So it's like an interesting dynamic. It's not like regular role-playing games where you're trying hard to make your character live for the rest of the game, right? But obviously, at least that's what I attempt in my other role-playing games, even though people might think differently, considering.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So yes, that is an interesting thing, right? Because you kind of have both the character and the story in
Yeah.
your mind in this game, and that's different. And you kind of have to obey the outcome that the group has chosen for you if you've established, or the resolution you've chosen for yourself even before you've gotten into the scene. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
So by the way, we're playing Fiasco for those of you who are just joined for the first time. This was only supposed to go 2 episodes. There was a point where I was worried we weren't even going to make it through 1. But then I guess I should have realized with a group like this, we'd end up having like giant, full, dynamic, complex scenes for every scene.
Every single thing.
So here we are. We decided to do a bonus episode to finish the story. So thank you all for coming back. We're joined tonight by, of course, Mr. Skidmar. Hello, Skid.
Skidmar,
Hello.
hey.
Hello.
Herr Grant Berger.
Ooh.
Eleanor Di Lorenzo, who you've already met and learned about Swedish ducks from.
Hi.
And, of course, Anna Suzuki, who has subjected herself to a great deal of our nonsense to join us once more.
Thank you.
So thank you all for coming back. I appreciate you deciding this story was worth finishing. And I also want to say thank you to Bully Pulpit for supporting the streams like they've been doing and letting us go long to tell what has turned out to be a pretty epic story. And even though we're adding a session, Bully Pulpit has stepped up again to offer a couple giveaways. So we're giving away, again, one physical copy of the game and 1 set of Roll20 codes. So keep an eye on the chat. Brendan's going to be posting links to enter to win throughout the show, and we'll announce the winners in the chat as well.
I want to win.
Well, watch for the link in the chat.
Yeah. You're eligible, I think.
It's funny how after playing with the Roll20 cards, how nice and seamless that has been, and it's been wonderful from a presentational standpoint to be able to throw up the board, which I'll seamlessly do as I'm chatting about it to see our relationships on screen. I also now want the box because the cards are great. They're easy to read. They're fun. Like I do have to say, just from a game design standpoint, it's really easy to see like relationship cards versus location versus tilts, all very legible. And I know Skid played the original game with the dice, which still totally valid, still a way to play. But I think it's just a little bit easier to have that permanency on a board to help remind you. Anyway.
Also, may I say, as someone who's new to this world, Bully Pulpit games, really fun. I just want to add that.
There you go.
There you go.
So strong
you
endorsement.
Can't get a stronger endorsement than that.
Wow.
I agree. Good job.
It is like a good kind of entry, like a gateway game for people that aren't familiar with role playing. Like it's
it's like a drug.
It is. Yeah, you're addicted now, right?
I'm addicted. I want more.
I wonder.
Back.
I wonder because I was warned that it could go dark, and you have that yellow card and things like you shouldn't go too dark if people are uncomfortable with that. So I obviously want to play a private game and see how dark it can get, because just to see because right now I'm like,
Look at Anna.
I was like, wait, I didn't know if like a private game was like a technical term, or I didn't know what we were talking
nudity
about.
or anything.
no, we were,
Just one that people aren't watching.
Oh, I see.
One where Ellie can unburden the darkness within her soul upon her fellow players.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I wouldn't go much darker than this, but it's interesting to see how I don't know. It seems like we went pretty dark, but I obviously
Yeah, I think it's going to get even darker.
I love knowing where your limit is for darkness. Like, we're clearly not quite at the level of depravity you'd like to be at. You're not satisfied yet with how awfully dark this game has gotten. I like it.
I wonder what's wrong with. I feel like it's my culture. Like, I think there's something inherently wrong with the Nordics because just
Don't blame the Swedes.
don't blame them.
Blame it on society. Blame it on your society. That's fine. I'll totally buy that.
Yep. I don't know. It's always interesting. But I wonder though how this will turn into a fiasco. So far we're doing pretty good.
I mean, I don't know about that. Seems like things have gotten pretty out of control.
Yeah, no one's doing well.
Yeah,
If we were setting out to create a fiasco, then yes, we're doing very well.
we were doing
I
excellent.
did remember we did kill off the parents.
Oh, the
of-
parents, yeah.
Oh,
On that note, should we do a little recap?
Yeah, let's do a recap. Let's do the recap.
I was joking before we went live that this recap was much more complicated than the recap I had to write for last week's episode, which basically just introduced the characters, which was complicated enough. All right, so let's see if we can get through this with some modicum of clarity. So here we are in the suburbs of northern Minnesota. It's 1997. Bridget Sundstrom, played by Anna. Bridget is 19, pregnant, and stuck living in the basement of the parents of her 16-year-old husband, Mats Sundstrom, played by me. So Bridget gets together with Mats and hatches a scheme to steal some money hidden behind a framed portrait of Ronald Reagan, which we discovered last week is Ronald Reagan wearing a Vikings jersey, in the home of the Larson family, the historic rivals of the Sunstroms. And Bridget used to be married to the scion of that family, Aiden, played by Grant, which is why she knows about the safe behind the Reagan portrait. So, Mats goes to his till-tapping manager at the Sam Goody where he works to help him with the heist. That manager is named Dudley Forsberg, and he's played by Eleanor.
Hi.
And together, they all make a plan that one Sunday after church, they'll keep the Larsons, Mr. and Mrs. Larson, occupied watching Mats's Christian ska band, Evangelion, play a gig.
God.
While Dudley goes and breaks into the safe. However, Dudley decided he needed a little extra muscle and went to his teenage stepson, Kevin, played by Skid. But Kevin, as it turns out, idolizes Aiden and quickly runs and sings like a canary and tells him the whole plan. So on the day of the heist, a lot of things started to go wrong. The Larsons skipped out on the gig and headed straight home, and Bridget, thinking quickly, pretended to go into labor to get Mats out of the gig, and unfortunately, though, they got into the car with Mats's parents, and when they dumped them on the side of the road and drove off, the parents were quickly sideswiped by a tractor trailer, which they don't know yet. And meanwhile, Aiden
The parents know it.
the parents, well, they do know. They're dead.
They did for a brief moment.
Yeah, for a brief moment,
They're
they
very
realized.
briefly aware of the fact.
Yes. Meanwhile, back at the Larsons' house, Aiden and Kevin rigged up a Home Alone-esque defense system. But when they broke in, Dudley tricked Kevin into triggering one of the traps, and that put them on edge. And they managed to get up to the safe, but then Kevin arrived, dressed in full goalie gear, carrying a chainsaw, and he threw the chainsaw at Dudley, but missed and hit the portrait of Reagan.
Was it quick? Little misspeak. Aiden arrived, not Kevin.
Aiden,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
That is, that was wrong in my notes. I'm going to change it, even though I've already said it, but just for posterity's sake.
For posterity. For future archaeologists.
We should make sure the aliens see that along with like the golden plate of all our cultural images that NASA made. Your notes from this game.
On the Voyager.
We don't want to get that wrong.
Yeah.
This messy Word doc that I've created.
You're reading from a script in an improv show, Matthew?
Get that man, Kalayanka.
I can't be expected to remember everything.
Oh, fair. Fair.
Anyway, if you don't mind, I will continue with my script.
You're allowed.
Ellie, think. Is that something that Carl the Duck would say?
Carl Duck, no. He would be,
You're right. You're right.
Stop it.
That definitely sounds like a duck.
I can't. I wish I could do like. Wait.
Have you ever seen a duck before?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my god.
There it is.
That was a good duck, actually.
That was me.
Anna, do it again. Yeah, you lost it a little bit.
What?
You lost it a little bit. You had it perfectly.
I know, I had it, and then I lost it.
Oh no. Too much pressure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matthew. Continue.
Yes.
You're scripted.
You want to stay on Duck
It's not
Sounds for
like
the
us
next
to
5
get
minutes?
derailed like this. I don't know
It's not
what's
like us at
happening.
all.
Sorry.
Anyway, yes, Aiden showed up in the goalie gear and threw his chainsaw at Dudley and missed and hit the portrait of Reagan. At that moment, of course, Mr. and Mrs. Larson arrived home, but it was revealed, at least to us, that Mrs. Larson had once had an affair with her family's rival, the now dead Mr. Sundstrom. And after seeing him across the aisle, across the pews in church, she was feeling perhaps a little lusty, and she put a hand on Mr. Larson's thigh when they pulled into the garage. So there they are, at least for the moment.
Going at it like they were on the Concorde.
Precisely. And then, at the very last moment, Bridget and Motts arrived and made their way upstairs just as Dudley drew his gun.
Is it also canon that Aiden's father is Gary Larson, the cartoonist?
Yes.
His name is Gary Larson. We have not established if he is the cartoonist.
Got it.
But we did say there was a bunch of punny jokes from Skater regarding the Far Side. That killed.
Oh, that's right. It did kill. I remember.
In case you were there and forgot, they killed.
Yeah. For future generations. If you're watching this, it's affixed in gold to the side of the probe. Those jokes killed.
Anyway, so I hope that somewhat made sense, but we left off in the middle of Anna's turn. So Bridget and Motts just burst into the room. Dudley reached for his gun. And Anna, take it away.
Okay, great. And now I want to set the scene. Motts and Bridget are about to finish climbing up the stairs. We have about 2 steps left. And then suddenly we realize the steps are like gooey. It's one of the traps that they set up.
Yes.
So our feet are stuck and we're going, oot, and then we hear the Larsons going at it downstairs. So we hear, and then I think something triggers a blowtorch and totally scorches them. So they're going, and then we hear, and then but that's unrelated to
They're in
Motts
their
and
car.
Bridget. Oh, they're in their car. Oh, yeah,
They're in the
sure.
garage. They're in the car in the garage.
Maybe their car explodes. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, so Motts and Bridget get upstairs. Okay, let's just get upstairs. We get upstairs. And then Bridget sees is the chainsaw in the portrait?
Yeah, and currently Aiden is walking over to get it for a second attack.
Holy shit.
And Dudley's pointing his gun.
Oh my
trying-
God.
I'm trying
okay.
to
So
figure out how to-
Motts,
Oh, jeez.
Motts, wait. I know Dudley, this guy was involved. Who's this scrawny little, who are all these people? Wait, I know this kid from the mall. You always come in and buy those No Doubt CDs.
Oh, hi. I love No Doubt. But right now,
What is
I have
happening?
bigger things on my mind.
What is happening? Oh, and then, wait, what's Aiden doing right now?
Aiden is lumbering over in his full goalie gear over to the chainsaw, and he has murderous intent in his eyes.
Kill him.
You
Kill
stay
him,
back.
Aiden.
You stay back. Stay the fuck back.
And then, out of nowhere, Cookie comes out. Cookie! And then
God.
Cookie is programmed to attack anyone who's not Aiden. So Cookie jumps on Motts. And Bridget, flustered, goes into labor.
Oh my God.
Motts, I think my water just broke for real.
And this Yorkshire Terrier is like tearing at Motts' throat. And he's like, oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. I think I'm having a baby for real. Aiden, do not kill whoever you're trying to kill right now. We just want the money.
I already used the money, hun. I got you this. And he reaches into his goalie jersey and like fishes out this really tacky, enormous, like Jared Jewelers like box.
God.
And he gets down. He gets down on one knee, one enormous padded knee.
As my water's breaking, you're going down on your knee.
He's a hopeless romantic. Even
I'll say.
Now is neither the time nor the place.
Oh, hun, you can think it over, but I was thinking if you're done sleeping in the Sundstrom's basement, Ma and Pa just finished cleaning out the old game room, and we could move in there. It's got a billiards table.
Okay, the baby's yours.
What?
What?
Maybe this would be a good moment to pick an outcome.
Okay.
So wait, I actually can't remember. Anna, did you establish the scene, right? Or
I don't remember. I think I did.
I think she did the classic burger resolve.
establish all? All right.
Yeah.
So the rest of us have to decide. So again, every player gets a scene involving their character, and we go around, and then you can either choose to establish the scene, set what the scene is, set up the scene, or resolve it, pick out an outcome, positive or negative. And if you choose to establish, then the rest of the players choose to resolve, and vice versa. So in this case, the rest of us can choose whether or not this is going to end positively or negatively for Bridget. And now the scene can continue on after this, so we can make our choice and then play out that outcome.
Yeah.
And we should say that I have some hesitancy around resolving a scene negatively for a woman currently giving birth to a child. But I don't think it necessarily has to end that darkly if it is negative. It could just
Although
be
the
bad.
baby is coming pretty early. You're in the 7th month, right?
Yeah. She's also...
At least that's what she told Mats.
True.
Yeah,
Right.
she probably maybe she just didn't show the first couple months, and she was keeping it a secret until the divorce was through, so she could marry Mats. Oh
yeah.
man, I wonder if Mats and Bridget have even consummated. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they. Oh,
Do you think
Mats
she
is so
convinced
dumb.
Mats that she was pregnant with this baby without actually having sex?
Because Mats believes.
He would believe that.
You remember
Yeah.
how we kissed that time? Now I
Yeah.
have a baby in me.
exactly.
Mats, were
like,
you wearing
like
a condom
Virgin.
when we kissed, or no?
Like
Are you supposed to do that?
Virgin Mary. It all fits perfectly into the story of Jesus. But now it's
That's
all
what
ruined.
this story is. It's an allegory of the Christ.
It
Yes,
is
guys.
Christmas. It is
This
Christmas
doesn't
in
play
Philadelphia.
in
Christmas.
some small European country every Christmas Eve just for Donald Duck.
It's like Ivanhoe or Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is basically a retelling of the Bible. So Dudley is currently aiming at. So yeah, I have some options for negative outcome because Dudley is currently aiming at Aiden with his gun.
I think negative outcome.
All right,
Okay.
negative. So
I have an idea.
The one other thing I want to throw into the table, and then we'll go to Ellie's ideas. If you guys can see how many negative and positive outcomes cards we each have, and as we angle towards the end of the game, you know, it's something to keep in mind that if you have a lot of positive or a lot of negative cards, your character might turn out okay. But if you have a mix, then things
That's the worst.
That's the worst. So
Okay.
Cancel each
Interesting.
other out, and
Yes.
it's very bad.
Okay.
So, but we think negative outcome for Bridget. So I will deal one of these cards to Anna, and then Ellie, what is your idea?
Well, so being on the Anna's inspired me for the Home Alone stuff, and so you know the tarantula or tarantella, the spider. Like I'm thinking Dudley,
The tarantula?
tarantula,
Yeah.
the spider. Like Dudley is actually aiming at Aiden, but then he's about to lower his gun because he's like, no one should die for this. I'm not evil, but I am an asshole, but not evil. But then he sees the tarantula walking on his hand, and he accidentally sets off his gun, aiming at Aiden. But it might miss. I don't want to kill anyone without their permission.
So you want
Very
to
kind of you.
You want to shoot Aiden, is what you're
Shoot
saying.
at Aiden.
Shoot at Aiden.
And
Against
that would be
Aiden.
negative for Bridget because she just accepted his proposal and revealed the baby is his.
I think it maybe shoots through the expensive jewelry that Aiden wasted all of the family's money behind the Reagan
Oh,
portrait
yeah.
at, and maybe like knocks off part of his pinky or something like that.
Yeah,
and
I
just
like that.
blood
Maybe it
everywhere.
just blows off his whole hand.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And
It's
the
this
jewel.
This beautiful scene. He's proposing, and then it's
what
like
do
a
we call it?
spray
A
of
beautiful scene?
I do not want to see this private game, Ellie. I do not want to see it. Jesus Christ. Play it on a Concorde, for Christ's sake.
Okay, so Dudley shoots at Aiden. And
shoots
then,
at his hand, and like there's spray on your face, blood on your face. Spray
as he's proposing to me.
There's amniotic
As
fluid
you're in
on the
labor.
floor.
Yeah, there's
blood on
amniotic
your
fluid
face.
everywhere. Now there's blood, viscera, and fragments of bone everywhere.
The
Fragments of this precious jewel.
Also,
formerly
Mats is being eaten alive by a Yorkshire Terrier.
Right.
and there's a tarantula in the room.
the formerly unironically patriotic Minnesota Vikings adorned portrait of Ronald Reagan, which was commissioned at no small expense in the finest oils from European shores, is now looking like an avant-garde post-punk art installation somewhere.
Yeah,
in Soho.
it's got a chainsaw lodged in it. It's covered in blood.
Nice.
All right. Okay. So now we're at the point where we each get one more scene, and then we'll get to the aftermath. So it is now Mats's turn. I think I will establish. We're pretty established, but I think let's just pick up right from there and continue from Mats's perspective. So I think Mats is. Now he's also covered in blood, viscera, and fragments of bone and jewels, and he's also fighting off Cookie, who is trying to tear out his throat. He's like, oh geez, Anna, Bridget, could you call your dog off, please? Oh, God.
Sure. Cookie. Come over here. Oh, honey, I don't know. She's not listening to me.
She's starting to bite my She's drawing
And then
blood.
Bridget loves it. Yeah.
While in labor, she watches Mats die.
Wow.
Wow.
I think Matt's like he's like he can't get the dog off his throat, but he's kind of crawling into the room one-handed. He's like,
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
Not a great day for the Sundströms.
No.
he's like, give us the money, Aiden.
By the way, if you're... This is one of the most unlikely canine fatalities ever, if you end up perishing from a Yorkshire Terrier. Oh my god.
Mats loves dogs, and he does not want to hurt Cookie. He knows how Bridget loves her.
Oh, Mats. Yeah. I don't know. This is not working.
There's a lot going on in this moment.
There's a lot going on.
He's like, Bridget, please
Mats,
save
I've always,
me.
This is your destiny. Sing me one last song.
He goes, Jesus, drop that
Jesus, yeah.
trombone. Well, I guess we should decide if this is going to end positively or negatively for Mats.
I mean,
He
seems
died.
kind of predetermined at this point. Well, no, I mean, I guess it could be a fun twist to have it end positively for
Yeah.
It could end
true.
up positively with some sort of mishap, right? You could slip on some of the water that's broken on the floor, and that could inadvertently fling the Yorkshire Terrier from your neck in a parabolic arc that, like, I don't know where the dog goes after that, but at least it's not killing you.
Yeah, or Aiden could call for the dog and
or like it's Christmas, so maybe they're like toy trains, and then Cookie just gets distracted and she jumps off.
Oh yeah,
because a toy train is the size of a normal motor vehicle to a Yorkshire Terrier, and they love chasing after cars. Those dogs.
So you want to give Mats a positive outcome?
Yeah, let's give Mats a positive outcome.
I'm not done with the Sundström.
All right, so I will take a positive outcome card, and then Mats will. So yeah, all right. So yeah, maybe Cookie is just like distracted and just gives up on tearing out Mats's throat.
Yeah.
And Mats recovers and says, "Oh boy, oh geez, and then he looks at Aiden and he's like, "Give us the money!" And he tackles Aiden to the ground.
Oh wow,
nice.
And in like a display that would otherwise never happen based off of their size discrepancy, just because he's bleeding everywhere and, you know, has his mind on trying to get his former wife back, who's now the mother of his child. So many things are happening in one moment to him. He just falls to the ground.
Also lost a hand.
Oh, probably bleeding out.
You really want him to die, and I need you to stop driving my characters, Dudley.
She's my wife. We kissed and were blessed by a baby.
Yes, Mats, that's how we were blessed with a baby, for sure.
Oh, God.
I kissed her. You kissed her on the cheek. It wasn't even.
You don't know. It could happen. The miracle of life.
Dudley's gonna be like, "That's not how it works, boy."
He's beating Aiden's face very weakly, but he's still beating him. He's also bleeding out of his throat. All right. It is now Ellie. Is Dudley's turn.
Whew.
Well, Dudley.
Do you want to establish or resolve?
I will establish.
All right.
It's continuation. As Dudley sees all this mayhem, but sees his opportunity. Kevin, go and deal with that woman's uterus, and I will, and I'll take care of the rest. And that's his way of distracting, because he's gonna try to steal the money from the portrait, while everyone else is fighting.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
So Grant just revealed that there is no money behind the portrait, right?
I don't know that Dudley would know that.
Yeah, I don't think people know that yet.
Yeah.
Well, you said it. You said the money is gone.
Oh, he said it?
Oh, I did in character. I said, because I got you this. Okay.
Oh.
But yeah, maybe you don't believe it,
right.
and you still dive for what's behind there anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh crap!
Yeah, like maybe you think
He's lying.
like, oh, he's lying. He's trying to throw us off the scent.
He's bluffing.
Mott seems to think he's lying because he's now beating Aiden's face in.
Were you able to crack it, or did you just open the portrait to see the safe underneath it so far? That's what I wasn't sure on.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either, and I think with the chainsaw, if it's stuck on the portrait, maybe that, maybe we could see, like, can Dudley see any money or an open safe behind that portrait?
Or yeah, because the safe, all things being equal, the safe would be closed.
Yeah,
And we would have to be able to get into the safe now. So how would we manage that?
yeah, that's true.
You had to have had like some sort of plan before coming here, like not necessarily knowing that any of the Larsons would be here, right?
That's
Well,
true.
Aiden obviously knows how to get into it because he stole the money in the first place.
Yeah.
So what option would Dudley have? Like,
Good
what
luck
does he
getting in
think?
there now. You shot my good safe opening hand.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll split the money with you, Aiden, if you just give me the code.
Split the money with me? It's all mine to begin with, you awful son of a bitch.
Right, but otherwise, otherwise you're gonna get killed by
Go
the
to hell.
tiny...
Go marry some other old lady and get a different stepson than Kevin. She doesn't love you and neither does he.
Is that true, Kevin?
I think I've made it quite clear my feelings towards you, Dudley. I don't like you. I never have. And I don't like you. You're bad for Mom. And Mom
Jeez.
thinks you smell and your hair's weird.
I thought he was just going through a phase.
Oh, this face will last the rest of my life.
Oh man, what did I do to you?
You treated me terribly from the moment we met. You bully me constantly. You tried to make time with the woman you know I'm in love with.
Oh, well, I did sleep with her.
You lie. You cheated on my mother. You say you're getting physical therapy at the GNC for some reason, and then it happened. It was actually true. I still don't understand how that was true. You're the worst person I've ever met or known in my entire life.
And maybe Kevin sees the gun on the floor.
Okay.
After that whole list, I wanted to be like, is that all?
Well, why don't you like me?
But why don't you like me?
Exactly, but like, be specific. Kevin, be specific though. What's
What's your point, Kevin?
Why male models?
Well,
Is this a school for ants?
Are you kidding? I just literally finished explaining it to you.
I literally just told you
30
that a moment ago. Yeah. So the gun is on the ground now.
yeah, I
you
think he
dropped it because of the
dropped
tarantula?
it. Yeah,
Oh, you dropped it because of the tarantula. Where did the tarantula come from?
and from Home Alone.
A space-time portal open
from
between...
the television screen into our universe. It is Christmas.
Oh my god.
All right.
Someone called
as long as
Pumpkins.
Donald Trump doesn't show up too. We're still in good shape.
Right.
No, that's Home Alone 2.
Oh, that's 2. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, okay, we're good.
Yeah. So so Dudley's like, yeah, but Kevin, I know we've had differences, but you know, I did it just because. I mean, at some point, you know, you need a good role model in life.
I do. I have one, and he's right there. And he points at Aiden.
Mott's
that
is
guy?
continuing to beat on his face very weakly.
Wait, are you saying the guy who's currently getting beaten up by this little worm is a better role model than me?
You just shot his hand off.
That's fair.
He's literally fighting with one hand.
It's actually could be potentially super dangerous. He could bleed out any second.
Stop saying I'm gonna bleed out!
Blowing everywhere.
Dudley, I'm fine! And then, no, I'm just kidding.
No. Try to
back.
see if you can get the codes, though, Kevin.
Oh, sure. Hey, Aiden. I know you're dying in a minute, but please give me the code so I can give him to the stepfather that I hate and I was hoping to have. I lunge for the gun. I lunge for the gun.
Dudley is surprised.
Whose scene is this?
Never mind.
Elliot's.
Yeah, so it's gonna be my outcome.
Okay.
Do we want to decide now what the outcome is?
Yeah.
All right.
Based on the arguments made, I think it should end negatively for Dudley. Because the arguments were often unconvincing to Kevin, I think.
Yes,
I agree.
and Kevin
I
launched
agree.
a very strong argument, I will say.
Yes.
He had a lot of evidence to support his thesis.
He's got priors. Dudley's got priors.
Yeah.
All right, I am dealing a negative outcome card to Ellie.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh,
Is that going to show up on the board?
no, I'm sorry. We are out of negative outcome cards. We have
Oh,
used
so it
them
has
up.
to be positive?
It has to be positive.
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't see that.
The outcomes for Dudley, Aiden, Kevin, and Bridget, I guess, are all going to be positive.
Wow, okay. All right.
So maybe the safe can be opened.
Well, maybe you get to the gun.
I grab the gun.
Oh.
I grab it. I've never fired a gun before. I shoot wildly in Dudley's direction. I hit the safe right in the combination lock, and the door flies open.
Good job, Kevin. What's in there? Do we think that there is money there, or we?
I mean, it's Aiden's turn.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think as the safe door creaks open, what you see in there is a large collection of Topps NFL football cards. And if you rifle through them, they're all Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, come on.
Every single one.
It's all like Fran Tarkenton.
Just again and again and again and again. And they're all meticulously taken care of. They're all like in plastic wrapped boxes.
John Randall, rookie card.
And I think
she's my wife. Mop continues to beat on your face. I love her dearly, and God and Jesus have blessed our union.
The Sunstroms have been a thorn in our side long enough, and he just whips his bloody stump of a hand across Motz's face and tries to fling him across into the bureau that's in front of it. I like to think of this room as where Gary Larson like does his business. The cartoons are not, and they're just an enormous like mahogany bureau with like a leather top thing and a
green
big
walls,
Mont Blanc pens on containers and like a
sketches
big,
of cows everywhere.
and an ugly brass statue of like an eagle landing on a branch on the desk.
Yeah,
as well.
oh yeah, totally, yeah.
And I think as you hit the side of the desk, like the eagle falls on your head and just goes clunk. And then at that point, the conclusion of the scene is Aiden having a flashback to a point where a defender on another local Minnesota high school's hockey team during the playoffs knocked his block off, just cross-checked him into a wall. And he just was seeing red as you get this. And in the flashback, you see Aiden just like clambering up to his feet and like slipping down and just leaving the hockey stick behind and then just going full speed into him. And that scene cross-dissolves into Aiden in the present day. One bloody stump going past his face, the other one reaching out for the chainsaw, and then like throwing a shot put, he pulls it out of the wall and swings it over his head and directly towards Dudley. And I guess that's where we have to decide what happens.
Well, there's only positive outcomes. So we have to decide what's positive.
Whew. Well,
By the way,
cut
Grant,
his head off.
Grant, you essentially did an establish resolve again.
I can't help it.
Yeah, that was that was a nice monologue of like, this happened, the statue falls down, knocks him off, and then I have like a cool flashback. I loved it. I thought I agree with everything. I agree with everything.
I'm so sorry. I established resolve.
Establish resolve.
I guess we should all decide what positive means, right? So he's swinging this chainsaw.
Let me suggest like some backstory for Aiden. So maybe Aiden was a promising hockey prospect at one point, but he had a temper, and this incident that you're flashing back to got him banished from his high school team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's ended his career like prematurely. So yeah, like maybe he like injured like another player so badly that they couldn't play again or something.
Yeah, I think if you were to fade back into that scene, it would just be him just like not being able to stop punching him, and none of the players able to get him off, and just the ice just covered in like teeth and like gum matter and just
maybe he actually like hurt him so badly that he was infirm like after that point. And the only reason he's not in jail is because of his rich father. He's a minor, and like his rich father like got everything like kind of tied up in courts. Whatever.
And that's why he has nothing better to do than to like drive around in his IROC,
right?
Show up at the mall whenever, shoot hockey pucks in the backyard, and plan Home Alone style defenses of his home.
Yeah.
And this could be then the ultimate defense of his home by taking out.
Yeah. Was he a defenseman?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's all he could do.
That's right.
So what do you think the positive outcome, based on all of that, what do you think the positive outcome for Aiden is?
Positive outcome
in this moment. I mean, if he's swinging the chainsaw at Dudley, like, so we could say, like, okay, he hits Dudley, that's positive, he saves his house. You could also say, like, he misses, that's positive because he doesn't kill somebody.
Yeah, it's an interpretive issue.
Yeah, and then the question is like the saving, being positive, not killing someone, is to have that off of his conscience. At this point, he has a pretty rock solid, I'm no attorney, but a breaking and entering, being shot in the hand while defending his home, people getting into his safe type of thing, as like as a defense in court. I don't know if it's airtight or not.
Maybe while he was beating up that other dude back in the flashback, he failed to defend someone he loved. But now he has a chance. Like
His goalie. He was in love with his goalie.
Yeah.
I'm in love with my goalie.
That is a twist.
He was in love with his goalie. He allowed a goal.
yeah.
His goalie broke it off with him. broke off their secret romance.
I can't believe you allowed that breakaway. We're through.
We're through.
Yeah. Let's fucking. I think let's just chop the head off. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds pretty positive to me.
I think so.
He achieved what he was trying to do.
All right. Great. Grant, will you describe what happens?
Wait, wasn't? Sorry. I just wanted to say, wasn't it actually Skid's turn after me?
No. Oh, yeah. Whoops.
Sorry.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Well, he'll have something to react to during his turn as he sees this centrifugal force. Centrifugal force.
There you
go. Yeah, eat shit and die. Go. Sometimes you talk during a live show and, just the wrong word comes out. It's fine.
That never happened to me.
Yeah.
Look to Ellie.
I can't all be perfect like Ellie.
Model yourself after Ellie.
Yeah.
It was perfect at all times.
Just with an insane speed, like it's already like 3 or 5 horsepower, taking this chain through at impressive revs that could fell a mighty oak in the Minnesota forest or a pine tree, and it swings in an upward arc with a crimson crescent that is echoed by a second one as it slices from Dudley's armpit through the side of his neck and gets stuck there and like starts to slide off with it still.
Okay.
Sounds very positive.
That was very positive.
That was amazing. Well done.
Ellie is
news is
especially pleased.
The chainsaw's under warranty for another 3 years.
Another positive.
There you go. There's your positive ending. I'm sorry, Skid. Yes, it is your turn. I skipped. I went. In the order in our Skype call is that Grant came after Ellie, so I made a mistake. I apologize to my friends and family.
I'm sorry. Sorry to the listening audience, viewing audience. Sorry.
You guys too.
I would like to resolve. I'd like to resolve this scene.
All right. So the rest of us can now establish.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
Dudley is dead. So
I mean, what if we move
This
ourselves?
has to be a positive outcome.
It has to be a positive outcome, but you decide what that's going to mean.
Right.
so
I mean,
let's move.
I would say, well, he can move us out of this room, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
Kevin tries to get Aiden some medical attention in some fashion, or we can leave him in the room. What do you guys think?
So the parents are also burning up in the garage right now.
Yeah,
as well.
but I don't think they're necessarily dead.
Yeah, they're just badly burned.
The passion of their lovemaking saved them.
Oh, I think it's a good point. If there was a fire in the car, right, this could help establish this scene. I feel like the Larsons are well off, have nice built-in fire alarm security system. I think at this point, first responders might be starting to arrive on the scene.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So I feel like that
yes.
could be a great chance for Ellie to maybe jump into one. I don't want to tell you, maybe you had another
No,
idea.
I was thinking that a cop might finally arrive.
Or a sexy firefighter.
Probably a sexy
He
firefighter.
was the goalie that Aiden was in love with.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Oh my god, and I dress up like a goalie in my twisted secret sexual fantasies.
Oh, perfect.
That's why I have this gear.
After you've just proposed to your
Yeah, you
ex-wife.
just proposed.
Who's currently still in labor?
Who's
It's a complicated man. It's a
He's so
Brokeback
cool.
Mountain situation. A lot going on.
So how does that set up Kevin's scene then? Maybe it creates stress for him.
Let's-
Oh, okay.
let's role
Is
play
that
it.
enough of a thing? Is that enough of an establishment?
I think if the fire department busts in, looking for people to rescue them from the fire and discovers this scene, and yeah,
Okay. All right. Yeah. So there's probably like smoke coming out of the garage at this point. I love the fact that like we sabotaged multiple entry points for the house. It's like, well, they might come into the garage, so set up a firebomb in there just in case. So the car that they're in, their SUV is on fire. So yeah, well maybe we hear them trying to break in through the garage door.
Oh, right. A firefighter.
Yeah. So Kevin is like, it's like, the authorities are here. Don't worry, Aiden. I'll get you some help.
Bridget's currently in labor on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think it's getting more and more urgent. You hear Poppleton FD, fire FD, Poppleton FD.
wow. Okay, so Kevin runs out of the room, covered in blood, fluids, bits, and he runs over to the stairs, and there's the gooey substance that we put on there, and he forgets that it's the tar on the top step.
Oh.
And he goes and starts running headlong down the stairs, and his shoes stick into the tar
Oh,
and
right.
are pulled off. And he flings forward, shoeless, down the stairs, tumbling, smacking his nose on like the bottom 3 steps. And he ends up, he gets up just as the firefighters and the police are smashing down the garage door into the house. And
Everybody cool? This is FBI.
Oh my god, the Larsons really have great connections.
The FBI's already here.
the feds are already involved. They have a great security system. The ADT, like we immediately call fire department, local police, and the
And
Federal
the
Bureau of
FBI.
Investigation. Just in case. Secret Service too, just in case there's any
Yeah.
counterfeiting involved.
Yeah,
CIA.
just in case there are any federal crimes or counterfeiting being
Just to
committed.
the off chance or any federal crimes
Well,
are being.
Maybe the FBI shows up because maybe Gary Larson was into something not so great, and he's been
Yeah.
surveilling the house.
There we go. Okay, so what was Gary Larson of Far Side fame into that would draw the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
Maybe. So wasn't Watergate Reagan?
No.
But Iran-Contra was.
Yeah.
Maybe Gary Larson was involved in Iran-Contra. Maybe he was funneling funds from Iran to the Contras in Nicaragua.
Maybe he was a weapons dealer.
Oh,
Maybe he was doing money laundering for the Contras by passing money. The Contras would buy Far Side cartoons or signed originals through his shell corporation, Far Side Inc.
Yes.
And he would launder the money.
Yeah,
And-
like he would take in these immense payments that like anybody would pay thousands of dollars for a signed Gary Larson cartoon.
Anybody.
So he's like basically selling the signed drawings for $1 and like throwing in a ton of arms along with the deal. There you go.
There we go.
But maybe you're not even the real Gary Larson, but you're signing them anyway.
Yes, right.
There we go.
He is a Gary Larson that worked in the Justice Department under Oliver North. And that's a series of misunderstandings and obfuscations.
This is why the House of Cards came tumbling down.
And that's why the FBI is here now.
They finally realized their specialists came in and they realized that the signatures did not match those of the artist Gary Larson. And this led to a huge discovery of everything that's gone down. Huge break in the case.
If they had just looked at any Gary Larson drawing and noticed his signature on every single one of them.
It was a very shoddy investigation from the get-go, as anyone who was alive back then will really remember.
They were new. We're underfunded, FBI.
That's right. So the feds are there to take down the fake Gary Larson.
Yeah.
And they
All
just
right.
happen to arrive at the same time as the fire department.
Yep. So, yeah.
This has really gotten out of hand.
Yeah, sorry. but yeah.
I like it. This is a great plot twist. I love it.
Perfect.
So what does Kevin do when he sees the FBI?
Okay, so the federal government breaks down the door along with Aiden's former crush, the hockey player turned fireman.
Ooh.
Comes in, and Kevin is pulling himself up. He's bleeding on his face, and it's just someone's attacked this kid. Find the perpetrators, and they go swarming up around the house, and ultimately to the second floor, wherever all this stuff is happening.
Okay.
But they leave Kevin alone. They assume Kevin is innocent.
Yeah.
So is that your positive outcome?
That's my positive outcome.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, I'm dealing a positive outcome card to Skid. And Anna, it is your turn.
A lot of good yes-anding.
This is also the last scene before we get into the aftermath process.
Oh. Make it count.
Wait, so at this point, Aiden and Mats are both... What are they doing?
Aiden threw Mats off of him, so Mats was thrown into the bureau where Gary
that's
Larson was operating his money laundering scheme for Oliver North.
Ironically, the bureau was built by Federal Furniture, so it's actually the Federal Bureau.
Very nice.
Okay.
I quit.
Okay, I would like to establish. I see the smoke coming up. So I'm in labor, but I'm thinking I have to get to higher ground. And so as I'm in labor, Bridget is screaming.
Women in labor think very quickly on their
Yes,
feet.
and as she's in labor, she starts climbing the taxidermy bear that was in the corner of the room to get to higher ground. And this is Bridget's last big monologue as she's in labor on top of the bear. And she goes, I don't need any of you. And Mats, I never loved you. We never consummated our love. You just fucking kissed me. Who are you kidding?
I kissed you with a
Aiden.
lot of feeling.
What? What did you
kissed
say
you-
to me?
I kissed you with a great deal of feeling.
Yes. You keep doing that and you'll grow up one day to be a big boy.
So condescending and sexy.
I'm talking to him like he's Pinocchio or something.
You keep doing
And also,
that.
Evangelion's a stupid name for a band.
Oh,
You said you liked it.
Yeah. Aiden, I don't need your fucking cheap jewelry. I know you always loved that. What was his position?
Goalie.
Yeah, I know you always loved that goalie. And then I think that's when the fire officer?
Yeah.
Yeah, fire officer.
Fire
It's a small town. They have to be both police officers and firemen, so they're all known as fire officers.
And FBI.
And EMTs.
I think that's when the fire
Fireman? Firefighter. There you go. Firefighter.
the firefighter comes up the stairs and Aiden sees him and recognizes that it's his old love. And they have a moment. But Bridget's still in labor on top of the taxidermy bear, so she's going. And then I guess she should have the baby.
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Ellie. I'll have the baby.
I mean, it's a little rote on top of a bear.
I mean, it's so predictable. He's in labor to then have the baby.
Ancient Viking custom of having a baby on top of a stuffed bear.
Yeah.
And I guess if she has to have a positive outcome, this is like her Bridget claiming her independence, having a baby on top of a bear alone. She doesn't need no man.
No.
Well, here's the thing I'm discovering now. I don't know. I did something wrong on Roll20, but actually, there should be only one negative outcome left.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I must have arranged the decks incorrectly. But right now there are. Let me see this. Anna, you have 2 negative. Ellie, you have 2 negative. That's 4. Skid has 1, 5. Grant has 1, 6. I have 2, 8. And then there's 1 on the board. 9. So yeah, there should be 1 more negative outcome, and there are 10 positive outcomes in play. So yeah, you actually it has to be a negative outcome.
Oh.
Maybe, okay, so just not so we don't kill newborn babies. Maybe the bear falls down and kills the gully.
The hook?
Oh.
Just as they are about to, like, have their consummation.
Yeah.
Wait.
Aiden
and the goalie are having sex?
No, they
Well,
They have a
eventually.
moment, they see each other.
Yeah.
She screams out, like, you always loved this guy. And then he shows up. Or he shows up and she screams this.
Yeah.
He realizes, like, what everything that's happened. They
Yeah.
have this moment together, and he comes in to consummate.
To
and
consummate, yeah.
And then the bear falls on.
Yeah. And it could be like one of those cool scenes where it's like the bear falls down and puh, and then Bridget just and the baby comes out.
Yeah, one of those scenes.
Love that. Love that.
Maybe.
What an elevator pitch. Just executives all over town are just like, I'm sorry, do you have time at 3 o'clock?
I mean, the other negative outcome could be like this is all exposed for Bridget, right? That now the FBI has, you have the baby and you gain your independence. However, the FBI has discovered you trying to rip off.
Yeah, you're involved in this plot.
Yeah,
The money's gone.
money's gone.
Oh, that's true. I guess
maybe-
that would be more negative for Bridget, yeah.
And maybe there's... I keep wanting to tie this back into the camera, the security room at the mall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe there's footage of you guys planning this break-in, saying that you're going to steal this money.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the FBI knew about it the whole time because they've been using they've been tapping the security room at the mall.
Yeah.
You should also
Yeah.
know that currently federal prosecutors have a 95% win rate in court. So you are going to be raising our baby from prison.
Well, maybe not, because now we have to deal with the aftermath.
Oh, here we go.
All right. So we have now. Everyone has gone. We've each done 2 scenes in each act. Everyone should have 4 outcome cards. So Skid and Ellie, you should take back the tilt cards you laid down.
Okay. Okay. Done.
And we did both of those, right? The thing you stole has been stolen, and
Yeah.
Okay.
And the tragedy,
Death after a prolonged struggle. Both of those things seem to happen multiple times.
Yeah. I think we covered them.
And I feel like they would have happened
Pretty thoroughly.
without the card.
True.
Okay. So now you can take one of your face down outcome cards that you have and give it to another player if you wish, shifting their balance for better or for worse. I just have to check to see who goes first in this.
The outcome cards?
Yeah, so you should your positive and negative ones.
Right.
You can now give one to another player.
Okay.
So we're gonna continue in order. So I actually will go first. So remember that mix of positive and negative actually means bad news for your character. More negative or more positive can be a better, healthier end for your character. Now the rule about this from the Fiasco rules is you can give someone a positive or negative card, but you have to explain why you're doing it.
Okay.
And then the guidance they give here is it doesn't have to be fair, but it should be fun for everyone.
Okay.
Wait, before we get into it, I have a question.
Yeah.
Which cards am I looking at?
Just the one outcome negative and outcome positive, and you.
Where are they?
They're in your hand. So if you're in Roll20 and you click on the kind of cards down there, you should see you have currently 1 positive and 3 negative.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
So the way you give this is you have to drag it out to the table onto the board, and then that person can take it. Hang on, I actually want to make sure I'm doing this right.
Man,
Yeah, you need to
this is so
explain
different.
why you're helping their character have a better life or kicking them to the curb.
Okay.
All right, so I will go first. I currently have 2 negative and 2 positive, so things probably won't end that well for Mott's. I am going to give a negative outcome card to Grant because of the historic rivalry between the Larsons and the Sunstroms, even though we are actually brothers.
Right.
Oh, right.
Right.
All right, so Grant, I'm putting a card on the table, and then you can just pick that up.
Do I reveal it now, or I just take it?
Just take it for now.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So now remember, you do not have to give a card if you don't want. If you want to keep your cards, that's fine. But Ellie, it is your turn.
So I think maybe I'll give a negative. Like we want to have as balanced as possible, right?
No. If you want, if you want things to turn out badly for Dudley, then yes, you want to have a mix. But if you want things to turn out better for Dudley, you want to have either negative or positive.
I wonder how bad it can get for Dudley, though. Isn't he dead?
His legacy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. How is he remembered?
How is he remembered?
That's true. In that case, I'll hold on to it. We'll see. I'll hold on to my cards then.
All right. Then Skid, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to give a negative card to Anna. Because of this card. It's because of this particular card. And I just think it'll be funny.
Don't tell her what it is. Yeah.
I won't say what it is, but this is. I think this could be funny. So, sure.
All right. So Anna, if you right click on that card on the board and take it.
Okay, wait. Sorry, I think I'm very confused. Oh, okay. Negative. I see it.
Yes.
So if you right click on it, there should
Take
be like,
click. Take card.
yep.
There you go. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
So why?
Gateway drug.
So I notice now that Anna now has 4 negative outcome cards and 1
that's
positive.
awesome.
So that could mean great news for Bridget.
Yeah.
When you said gateway drug, I saw like the montage that happens in Requiem for a Dream every time they take like a strong drug and just her pupil dilating. I'm like, anyway.
Grant, it is now your turn.
Okay, I am putting this card out there, and these cards have to affect the player that they're given to, basically.
Yeah, and you have to explain why you're doing it. Skid, his explanation will be revealed later, but...
Okay, I would like to give... How do I play this card? Do I write... I just drag it onto the table?
Just drag it onto the board.
I'm giving this card to Skid because I think... I just want to see Skid play this out.
Well, now the text of the card will not matter
Oh, okay.
in determining the outcome. Only their value will.
Man.
Okay, and technically you're not supposed to judge it on the
Okay,
numbers.
then I will do it based off of the fact that Kevin really helped me through all this. Even though it was 0 to hero, I started looking up to Kevin through his courage through all of this. So I'm going to give Kevin a positive card.
Thanks, buddy.
Nice.
So now Skid has 4 positive cards. All
Okay.
right, Anna, it is your turn.
guys. Hold on. Where do I get the card?
So do you see along the bottom, you see all of our names and then the cards?
On top of
Yeah.
your puffy.
Yeah.
And so if you click on the cards, your hand will open up and you'll see it. And then you'll see that you should see the cards in there.
And which card is the... Wait, what does the card say?
You should see right. You should see one outcome positive card, and
I don't... Wait, do the cards say outcome?
they're red or blue. Do you see the red and blue cards? And then
Tilt?
they say tilt or
Yeah.
Those
Okay,
cards.
okay. So I pick one and give one to someone.
you may. You don't have to.
can.
If you decide you're happy with the number of cards you have, you can just hold on to them.
No, I want to give.
It's rare you
this-
get a group of all givers just like this.
I mean, this is what I want to give a positive one to Matthew. But this does... Oh, the text doesn't matter, you said.
The text doesn't matter.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to give a positive card to Matthew. Do I just drag this?
You just drag it onto the board, and I'll pick it up.
Okay, got it. Because I feel like Bridget has been a total bitch to him. And Matthew, not Matthew, but Mats has been nothing but a positive partner. So I think Bridget
Not
wants
Matthew.
to... Oh, I mean Mats. What?
No.
Thanks, Skid.
Mats has. Matthew has not.
Matthew has not. Mats has. So I think Bridget wants to be a better person, and this is her way of making amends.
Like it.
All right.
I like that.
Okay. So now you're going to add everyone. You're going to look at your outcome cards, and you're going to add the values together the same way you did at the tilt. So let me just scroll up to my notes on the tilt. So if you have one type of outcome card, like both blue positives or red negatives, you'll just add those values together, and that's your value. If you have both negative and positive, you'll add the blue values together, add the red values together, and then subtract the low value from the high. So if you end up with blue 4 and red 3, your total is blue 1. 4 minus 3. You had more blue than red. That makes sense?
Yes. To me,
So-
yeah.
Great. So, for
Because
example,
I've read about this.
in my hand, I have 3 positive outcome cards and 1 negative. So I have the total, I have a +2, a +2, and a +3. So I add those together, I get a +7. But I also have a 1 negative outcome card with a +4. So it would be 7 minus 4. So I get a blue 3 is my final.
Oh, we had the values of the card.
The values, yeah.
I see. Okay.
And now's the part where we all do math.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
So let's go. Why don't we go around? So I ended up with a blue 3. Ellie, tell us how you got to what your final value is and how you got there, so we can just all do the math together.
no, someone else start. I suck at math. Wait.
Well, just tell us. What do you? So what are the values on your negative cards?
Well, so the value of those are 9 and then plus 1, so 10.
So you have 9 on the red cards. It's 9,
Yeah.
and the blue is 1.
Yeah,
So you subtract. So that's 8. So you have red 8.
red 8.
Okay.
Red alert.
All right, Skid. What do you got?
I have all blue cards,
Great.
and they add up to 14. So I have blue 14.
Okay. Great. Grant, what do you got?
Red 1.
Oh, yeah.
Just like right on the tipping point, the balance
Ooh.
either way.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
close.
you
And
have-
I dealt away my ability to have a positive outcome. Maybe I
Oh,
would have kept
wow.
my cards if I had known Skid was going to be at a plus 14 positive.
You're right.
Anna, what do you have?
I have a red 8.
Red 8. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to deal you the aftermath card that based on your total. So there's one matching every number.
Oh, wow.
So I have blue 3. So I will deal that one to myself. Let me just make sure I take that. Okay. Ellie, you had red 8.
Yep.
So I'm dropping it over on top of your name, so you can go ahead and take that card. Skid, you had blue 14,
Yeah.
so you're going to get the blue 12 plus card.
Oh.
I should hide this from the stream currently, correct?
Yeah, well, once everyone picks up their cards,
Cool.
we can go through them.
It's been hidden.
Right. And
That's
then,
good.
Grant, you ended up with red 1.
Red 1.
Red 1 standing by. I just dropped that one to you. And then, Anna, you ended up with red 8. Oh, which
Yeah.
has been given to Ellie.
Same
Oh,
as Dudley.
You're the same.
You
Let me
share.
consult the rules. If the appropriate card has already been taken, take the card with the next lowest value.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Oh.
Wow.
So I will
Give me that
drag-
red 7.
Yeah.
7.
You get the red 6 and 7 card. All right. So everyone take their cards, and we're going to start from the highest outcome total and go to the lowest and read these out.
Okay.
So Skid, yeah, you've just shown us all your card. Will you read it for us?
Sure. Inspirational. When you look at me, you see an example of someone who has it all. Despite a lot of hardship and danger, I persevered and triumphed. I got what I wanted and then some. My genius and hard work have made me the success I am today.
All right. So we still have one more moment to play out for each of these characters. So start thinking about what that might look like for Kevin, though it seems like that's pretty appropriate because the FBI deemed you innocent. You got rid of your awful father-in-law. You helped your idol protect his house. Yeah, I think that you worked pretty hard for that positive outcome.
Yeah.
All right, Ellie, will you show us your card?
All right, so I show it by putting it on the table.
And
Right.
then I will... yep, there we go.
So hapless. Hapless. While I'm not precisely better off, I'm no worse for having been involved in this ridiculous disaster either. I'm dead.
Yeah. Well, you're not better off.
Not better
Yeah.
off.
But I
But
exactly.
your life wasn't that great. So
Yeah. I feel like that's true.
So
Yeah, so
break
there's...
even?
Well, you can read the second paragraph, too.
Okay, I'm back where I was, and given the circumstances, I'm sure we can all agree that is pretty good.
Yeah, ashes to ashes.
Ashes to ashes.
Oh man, I love it.
All right, so start thinking about how that's going to reflect Dudley's legacy. All right, Anna, what do you got?
Oh, I just clicked on it. Do you see it?
can you put it on the table,
Yes. Hold on.
please?
Of course.
Thank you.
Whatever you like.
Oh, I love it. Can we play these
Arigato
characters? Can we
gozaimasu.
do another game right now?
Dokishimaste.
Okay, wait. It's on. Oh, did it? Do you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Wonderful. Pathetic.
Ooh.
This did not go well for me, and I'm gonna suffer for it.
Oh,
Everyone's gonna know about my mouth. Oh, fuck. How do you pronounce this? Malfeasance?
Malfeasance. There,
Nailed
yes.
it. Nailed
Perfect.
it.
Thank you. Everyone's gonna know about my malfeasance, my foolishness, my lack of common sense and decency. I have a strong feeling I'm also going to jail.
That makes sense.
Okay. And then, am I next? Yes.
Repulsive. Oh.
Impulsive. Most likely I'm not dead on the outside, but I'm sure as hell dead on the inside. The emotional or mental wounds I've suffered, those will never heal. The future is a brick wall.
Jesus.
That feels about right.
That feels
That is
about
a
right.
very good aftermath.
Technically, you're supposed to just play out the scenes as you read the cards, but I just wanted to read them all and give everyone a chance to kind of think about it. And then, Grant, what do you got?
This will make Ellie happy based on some foreshadowing she did earlier. Horrifying. I'm probably dead, right? Other people too. Probably innocent people. There is no justice. There is no mercy. Everything is utterly, painfully screwed, and it is all of it my fault.
Wow,
Perfect. I did like that.
that's very harsh.
I knew you would. That's right on your darkometer. Darkometer.
Darkometer.
The malfeasance of your darkometer.
We're
is clearly
nailing
shown.
all the pronunciations here tonight.
All right, let's go around now and for the epilogue, let's see a moment for each of these characters based on these aftermath outcomes. So let's go in the order we just went. So Skid, how's Kevin doing?
So Kevin is cleared by the law enforcement, FBI, etc. They just assume that because of their initial impression, they just let that ride.
That's how federal investigations work.
Yes, right. That's what it's a first come first served system in America. I know not everyone realizes that. So it's book by its cover. They call it the book by its cover law. So I think that somehow because of like the commingling of these two branches of the family, I think somehow Kevin ends up the heir to the entire Larson fortune.
Ooh.
He ends up inheriting the house, with the money, the destroyed rake and portrait, the eagle, everything.
Maybe because maybe the money all gets seized in the investigation of the Larsons, and then
Yeah, and then I sue the Larsons for damages. And I end up being awarded the estate.
so you and your mom get to move out of that shitty apartment that Dudley was living in and move
Yeah.
into this mansion.
We move into this mansion, yeah.
Okay. All right, Ellie.
And I want this all to play out to the song "Bring Me a Higher Love."
I love it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Okay, Ellie. How does it? Give us a parting image for Dudley.
Well, I think I love the idea that like I'm back where I was, and given the circumstances, I'm sure we can all agree that it's pretty good. Like his insignificance. So, like he's gone from the family, and Kevin and his mom is just like, you know what? We're better off. Like what's he even here? Like his memory is just he's erased from time.
Yeah, like he's not like singled out as someone who is responsible for this
Yeah.
crime.
But he would be
Just
like
kind of lost in the shuffle.
when the papers write about it, it will be like an unidentified white man died.
Yeah, unidentified roadie.
Identified ex-roadie. That's
yeah.
really great. He was insignificant, and he has returned to insignificance.
Perfect. I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
All right, Anna.
That's
how
so
do things
sad.
turn out for Bridget?
I think we see Bridget in jail, and she's writing her autobiography, Baby, Believers, and Blasphemy, the true story of Bridget Sundstrom.
Babies, believers, and blasphemers. I love it. Guns, Germs, and Steel too.
Wow! Oh my god!
That's so
I gotta buy
good,
this
Anna.
It's
book.
going to be a bestseller. Like, just from the title
Amazing
alone.
title alone.
And then the guard opens the door. I'm still role playing, but this is short. And then she goes out, and then Mats has the baby. So I think Mats maybe got custody of the baby because Bridget realized he's the best dad for the child. And so Bridget is now trying to be a better person, but she is in prison.
Okay.
Awesome.
So what do you think she was sentenced for? Would just be breaking and entering? I mean, I guess like conspiracy?
for conspiracy, hatching this whole plan. And maybe like the Larsons did a little finagling because they never liked her.
Yeah, like maybe Gary Larson implicated her
Yes.
in his own crimes in one of his famed cartoons.
So do you think both Mr. Larson and Mrs. Larson survived?
No, I think posthumously, like he did, like he set the stage for like her to take the fall for like a bunch of this stuff. They burned to death in their infinity.
I think that it's like Mr. Larson drew a cartoon of two zebras looking across the Serengeti with a pair of binoculars, and in the distance they see what's clearly a lion in a zebra suit, and the one zebra says to the other, "Oh, that's Bridget. She's new in town."
And they put the pieces together. They connected the dots.
Oh my! I can't believe I just wrote a Far Side on a screen.
You really did.
That was kind of a perfect Far Side.
It's a pretty good Far Side, but because it's not the real Gary Larson, it's all shitty. It's like a shitty version of like a Gary Larson.
It's like
cartoon.
off-brand.
Yeah, it's like an off-brand.
Off-brand Gary Larson.
That's like one of like the 365 day a year calendars with a different cartoon on it. But you buy it at the dollar store and it's off-brand Gary Larson with 2 R's.
Right.
So that's how Bridget got implicated.
That's how she went to jail for one of his counterfeit cartoons.
They call it the Larson Affair.
The Larson affair.
Larson affair.
Oh, I love it so much.
Oh man.
All right. Okay.
He signed Bridget at the bottom of all of his counterfeit cartoons.
Well, she did know about the safe, so.
That's true.
But it's okay because she'll be out soon enough. She'll be out in 6 to 12, and she'll have that money for the book sales, the book advance.
Right.
Right.
All right, so now it is Matz's turn.
Oh boy.
So I love this. Most likely, I'm not dead on the outside, but I'm sure as hell dead on the inside. The emotional or mental wounds I've suffered, those will never heal. I mean, Matz's parents were killed, so he discovers that.
Yeah, he finds that out immediately, like soon after.
Because he dropped them off on a highway.
He dropped them off on the side of the highway.
On the side of the highway. His wife went into labor and revealed that not only did she not love him, but he wasn't the father of the baby. However, I think he now has custody of the baby. And
He has to raise.
Okay,
Oh,
yes.
that's great.
so
Yeah.
he's raising a baby he knows isn't his own.
And he's dead inside.
And I think his faith has been shattered. His dreams have been broken. He knows he'll never be a Christian ska drummer now.
And
Yeah,
I
he's a
think
total atheist now.
He takes really great care of this baby, but he only feeds it like butter and toast. Unflavored steamed salmon and broccoli. Like just
He's a human wasteland. He's going through the motions at school.
Yep.
Somehow he gets off scot-free, but that's like he's not arrested, but that's even worse for him because
Yeah.
he thinks he deserves to be punished.
Yeah, because he feels all the guilt, and it's just like he has to internalize it all for the rest of his life.
And our final shot of him is just him at Sam Goody working, where he knows he'll just turn into a Dudley in a few short years.
Oh no!
oh my god.
All right. That's Mott's. All right, Grant, what happens to Aiden?
All right, so
love it.
where is in this? I think this will resolve kind of in the room and the aftermath. You see the sirens, the blue and red sirens, kind of going off from the outside, and like one of the things illuminating the room at this time. The firefighter goalie is around. Is he
What's his
still
name?
alive? His name is going to be PewDiePie Skarsgård. Marcus PewDiePie Skarsgård.
Okay.
And if he's in the room kind of tending to things, maybe covered in ash after, looking over the garage and stuff, you see Aiden kind of being drawn into the back of an ambulance, just with the EMTs are trying to staunch the blood before he goes and hooking him up to an IV. And as you see kind of the pulse beginning to flatline on Aiden, you see him reach out with his good hand and say, "Marcus, it was you all along, Marcus." And then the life leaves his eyes.
In the arms of an angel.
All right.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Tragic.
Tragic, but beautiful.
What a fiasco.
What a fiasco, am I right?
But the end credits
man.
is going to be the ska version of that song.
Yes.
That is the end of our game of Fiasco.
Oh my god.
Thank you guys for playing. This was super fun and super dark.
Just like it should be.
I could have gone darker.
It could have gone darker, but
Could have gone darker, it's
we were
true.
right to steer it towards the darker.
It's still
Side of the moon.
PG-13.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for playing. Thanks to Bully Pulpit for all
yeah.
of their support of the streams, and thanks for letting us play.
Thanks to Warped Tour 96 for the soundtrack and Vans for the costuming for the ska end of this show.
What Grant said.
Yeah.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Anna, and everyone.
Thanks, Anna. Yeah,
Thanks,
welcome,
Anna.
Anna.
Thanks, Ellie.
So fun.
Yeah.
Long live the 90s.
Yeah. Do this again.